EQ, assertiveness, the art of not disappearing. There's a strange little skill in emotional intelligence that sounds simple until you actually have to use it. Assertiveness, a word that immediately makes some people imagine a confident executive standing in front of a glass wall, saying things like, "Let's circle back when you have ownership of the deliverables," which of course is not assertiveness. That is just office theatre with better lighting. In Stein's EQ model, assertiveness is about expressing your feelings, beliefs, opinions and needs openly, directly and appropriately. That last word matters, appropriately. Because assertiveness is not aggression in a clean shirt. It is not domination. It is not interrupting everyone and calling it leadership. And it is definitely not saying, "I'm just being honest," right after you have emotionally reversed over someone with a truck. Assertiveness is much quieter than that. It is the ability to say, "I disagree, I need more time. That does not work for me. I see it differently." No. And to say it without exploding, collapsing, apologizing for existing, or sending a 12-line WhatsApp message full of unnecessary smiley faces to soften the blow. I know this problem quite well. I used to think I was being polite when I avoided saying what I really thought. Very civilized, very mature, very emotionally sophisticated. In reality, I was just outsourcing the truth to a future irritation. I would say yes when I meant no. I would nod while silently disagreeing. I would accept something, then complain later to someone who had absolutely nothing to do with it. A very elegant system. Completely useless, but elegant. The problem with low assertiveness is that it often looks kind from the outside. You are flexible, easygoing, helpful, reasonable. But inside, something else is happening. You start keeping accounts. One small resentment here, one swallowed opinion there, one, "It's fine that is absolutely not fine." And after a while, the emotional bookkeeping department becomes very busy. Then, one day, someone asks something completely innocent, like, "Could you maybe move that chair?" And suddenly, your soul responds as if civilization itself has collapsed. This is why assertiveness matters. It prevents resentment from becoming your communication style. But there is another trap, because some people hear the word assertiveness and think, well, finally, permission to be unbearable. They become blunt, hard, loud, and, honestly, proud of telling it like it is. But often, telling it like it is really just means telling it like your ego prefers it. Real assertiveness is not about making yourself bigger by making someone else smaller. It is the middle path between disappearing and attacking. Too little assertiveness says, "Your comfort matters more than my truth." Too much aggression says, "My truth matters more than your dignity." Healthy assertiveness says, "My truth matters, and so does your dignity." That is the difficult part, because assertiveness requires self-respect, but also restraint, courage, but also timing, honesty, but also emotional temperature control. You can be clear without being cruel. You can be firm without being cold. You can set a boundary without making a speech worthy of a courtroom drama. Often the most assertive sentence is surprisingly simple. "No, I can't do that. I don't agree with that. I need to think about it. I would prefer something else." No fireworks, no emotional PowerPoint, no apology parade. Just a calm statement from someone who has remembered that they are also in the room. And that may be the deepest part of assertiveness. It is not just a communication skill. It is a relationship with yourself, because every time you say yes when you mean no, you teach yourself that your own signals are optional. And every time you speak honestly, respectfully and clearly, you do the opposite. You teach yourself, I can be present, I can have a position, I can disappoint someone without becoming a villain, I can survive the small discomfort of being clear. Of course, not everyone will applaud your assertiveness. Some people preferred the old arrangement where you were available, agreeable, and quietly self-erasing. They may call you difficult. This is very useful information, because sometimes difficult simply means no longer convenient. So, assertiveness is not about becoming louder. It is about becoming less absent, not aggressive, not passive, not endlessly diplomatic while slowly boiling inside, just clear. And in a world where many people either shout or vanish, that is already quite a superpower. Captain Help, smarter every day in every way.